Hi, my name is Abi Soye, and welcome back to Where Truth is Valued. I really thought it would be a good idea to give you a bit more background on myself, why I decided to create this podcast, and why you should come along this journey with me and stick around. So, I would say that I've always been interested in politics. I've always been interested in what's going on in the news, what our politicians are saying, what's actually happening in reality. But I think it took a real personal situation for me to really evaluate why I'm so interested in truth and why I'm intrigued to follow the path, follow the story, and see where the actual reality lies in like what's going on. Over the last few years, I've really had to take that hard task that most humans, or every human should really take, in self-reflection and taking stock of my actions and trying to understand why I have navigated in the world in the way that and like what is it based on. And what I found was that some of my actions came from a set of beliefs, truths that I believed about myself, that I believed about the world. And some of these truths were negative, some were positive. Yeah, I had to come to terms with the fact that the beliefs that I thought were actually protecting me over the years were actually stopping me from growing, from blossoming, from living in my true self that I believe every single human being has the right to do. And I came to this realization because I was really confronted by the facts, the facts of my decisions, my actions, or as Christians say, my fruits. And for a while, I didn't see the effect that the beliefs that I had about myself were having on me, my ability to grow. But it could be seen in how I was showing up in the world. And I think the hardest part of this self-reflection journey was that sometimes I presented something about myself as a matter of fact, when actually sometimes there was no basis to it, or it was just an aspiration, or it was just a lowly idea of myself, which again wasn't based on actual truth. And I guess the version that I showed up in the world as really struggled when I didn't meet the expectations that I had put on myself. And, when I would fall short, it would make me feel even worse, or it would even make the people around me like not sure about like what's going on. So for example, I could say I'm always calm under pressure, and that might be an idea and a goal, but it's not the entire truth. And so when I'd be faced with situations when I had to be really calm under pressure and I wasn't calm under pressure, I would feel so bad. Like I would feel like I'd fallen so short. I'll give a playful example. You could talk about getting fit, and every year we say we're going to get fit and we see no result. And you may say, oh, I went to the gym all year last year. And you might have gone 10 times during the year and sporadically. So you're not like not telling the truth, but the results say otherwise. The facts say otherwise. And so I had to really take stock of my life, my decisions, and I then decided to see how that applies outside of me. So I started to look at other people, mostly the leaders around me, the people that govern the country I live in. And the main thing I kept seeing was that the leaders of these countries are constantly confronted by the things that they have said as truth, and the things that actually take place in the countries don't tally up with that truth. And I wanted to understand why that kept happening. Like, what is going on? Like, why is it that they believe and they say such powerful things about their country or the things that they're going to do, and they fall so terribly short. And it's not to say that everybody does, but I also was intrigued to see, with the people that actually say they're going to do something and it actually happens, like how are they actually able to do it? What are the frameworks in place that allow them to actually go forth and achieve the goals for that country, for that nation? And so 2 years ago, I was really thinking about that, and we were coming up to general elections in the UK, and I was like, who am I going to vote for and why? Like, the Conservatives had been in for over a decade, and there was so much noise about whether they had done certain things or what they hadn't done or how they had left the country. And I was like, I want to actually understand, like, why did they say they're going to do this, and what actually happened in practice, and why did it happen in practice? Like, what actually is going on? And so I decided to then gather all that information and share it, because if I'm confused, I'm sure other people are as well. And so that's where Truth is Valued was birthed. So that's what Truth is Valued is about. It's a space where we can take what people who are running the country, who are running these nations, say they're going to do, and evaluate it with what's happening on the ground. And if you're interested in going on this journey with me, then follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any topics that you would like for me to explore, then please send it in the comments. You can send it via email. Just feel free. This is just a space where we should all just own the things that we don't know. Own the things we don't know and find a way to figure them out, so we can understand our world a bit better, and so that we can make better choices for ourselves. I'll see you on the next video if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you watch your podcasts. Take care. Bye.